Hey, what's up, everyone? Welcome back to Digital Hideout. Now, today this is gonna be a really rough video. You're gonna hear me stumble here and there, but we want to get this out as soon as possible to you guys because there's some very exciting news coming out from Mihoyo, the folks behind the upcoming multiplayer RPG Genshin Impact. Now, if you've seen our other video, if you've seen our fall 2020 programming guide, you know Genshin Impact is up there. It's one of our major releases that we will cover for the next few months. Now, a couple of new news that came out of their Twitter, which you should totally follow. And while you are there, you should also totally follow us at Digital Hideout on Twitter. But back on the topic at hand, part of what they announced was something that we should all really look into, which is the system requirement for this game. Now, Genshin Impact, if you haven't heard already, this thing is crazy. It's coming out to mobile, it's coming out to PC, it's coming out to PS4. I look at a lot of games, but I haven't seen any other game that does a release like this. This is super insane. Um, but based on the feedback from beta and based on everything else, looks like they're about to pull it off. We don't know. Coming September 28th, we'll see how well it rolls out. But on your device of choice, you just want to make sure that you got everything covered. If you're like me, so I plan to primarily play this guy on my PlayStation. You don't really have a lot of things to worry. I mean, the PS4 is a PS4. You can play it on the PS4 Slim or Pro. Doesn't matter. Pick your weapon. All you need to do is to reserve 30 gigabytes of space, which, again, I have a lot of digital downloads, so I probably need to delete some of the games that I don't play anymore. But, other than that, the PlayStation is set. You just make sure you download the game, log on, and it should be good to go. If, however, you are a PC gamer, and it's totally cool if you are a PC gamer, we're totally chill and relaxed about it here at Digital Hideout. But PC has more flexibilities in terms of configurations, and you really want to watch out. They ask for an i7 or equivalent. They ask for a GeForce 1060 or higher. These are the things that kind of points out to a mid to high tier performance sort of expectation. And I don't play a ton of PC games. I definitely don't talk about it a lot, but I have tried to run their previous game, which was Honkai Impact Third. They released it's a mobile game, but they released a PC client earlier this year around I think it was around February March ish, and I downloaded it and it was laggy as hell for me. Now but I don't have a gaming PC. I have a normal PC which I do normal boring things like documents and slideshows and all that on. So it's definitely not geared towards gaming, and that's my experience. But if you are in a similar situation and you do want to experience this game on PC, then you probably need to kind of figure it out and make sure you have everything set up for yourself. Now, also this game is on mobile, which everybody has a smartphone, so I didn't think it would be much of a problem for people to get access to this game. But if you're on Android, then you want to make sure you have the latest Snapdragon. You have 4 gigabytes of RAM, which it is towards the mid-high end tier of phones, but it is not uncommon configurations in your phones. And if you are on iOS, well, I mean, like you get what Apple gives you. You don't have a lot of choice there. Not digging on the iPhone users. I am an iPhone. I primarily use my iPhone for my daily life. So but that's just how it is. If you're on iOS, however, you want to make sure you have iPhone 8 Plus or above, and you want to reserve 8 gigabytes of space. So that's the that's the specifications. Now what else we have here is we have the exact time when it's coming out. It's coming out on September 28th. We knew that already, but it's 10 a.m. UTC plus 8. Now what is UTC plus 8? Normal humans, we don't talk like that. So UTC plus 8 essentially is Beijing, Taiwan, Hong Kong, and Singapore time for the normal folks out there. And it makes sense because they are based in China and they do run their primary server out of the Asia region. So that's what kind of we expected. 10 a.m. September 28th. That's gonna be for the folks back home at US and Canada. If you're on the West Coast, you'll be looking at September 27th. That's a Sunday. I double checked that. Sunday, September 27th, 7 p.m. If you're on the East Coast, Toronto, New York, Massachusetts, Florida, for your folks down there, it's gonna be also September 27th, 10 p.m. On the day before. So just make sure if you're like me, if you want to get your hands on this game as soon as it comes out, then make sure you have it marked on your calendar, and maybe have an alarm clock set up, and maybe have your favorite drink, your favorite socks. Make yourself comfortable. It's gonna be a hell of an adventure. Really looking forward to it. Really looking forward to seeing what the community has. Um, Looking forward to playing with you guys, down the road. And the next thing that they announced on their Twitter account is a sort of pre-launch event. Get ready for the road. What this is, it's very simple. It's nothing fancy. You get to this website. You're supposed to get something like this. I already ran out of my entries for the day. I kind of when I saw it, just played the hell out of it. But if you're supposed to get this, and then it basically reviews what's underneath, and if you get the match of any of the icons on there, you get an item which you can carry forward into the game. It's a little bit complicated than that. This is the prize pool. You can get 4-star weapons, which is pretty awesome. You get some really good items out of this. Even some of 3 stars. It's like for a keep in mind this is a free to play game, and for a free to play adventure, you get to start with some of the really cool items. I think that's really good for everybody joining on this party. And you can read all these rules. I didn't really bother, but it's pretty straightforward even if you don't go through all the text. Basically, you do that, you flip it, and it's gonna go into your inventory. You can see that I flipped a bunch of stuff here already. And what you do is that you can add this into your backpack, so to speak, and then once the game becomes live, you can carry this forward into the game. And because the backpack has a space limit, you're gonna need to be wise and choose all the good items and make sure you have everything you want instead of just picking randomly. So there's that. You get to play. I think you get to play up to 8 times. I played 9 times a day. I think there's the one. Okay. So you get one free entry per day, but you can sort of top that off with these tasks. Now it's like kind of like the daily tasks you do in the gacha mobile game, but it's pretty cool that they're doing this as a pre-release event. All you do really is just click into their like social media, just do these things. It's not like rocket science. We do this regardless. I'm sure like if you follow these games, they already follow them on Twitter, they follow them on YouTube, so it's no big deal. It's basically just free entry, and you should totally do that. Starting from today, you can do this once a day, so make sure you refresh it. Keep the tab open. I have the tab open. Make sure that I don't forget. And that's the latest news on Genshin Impact. As we mentioned earlier in our programming guide, we will be taking a even closer look at some of the behind the scenes, at some of the histories of the game. What is it all about? Why is it so exciting? Man, this is one of the most exciting things to come of this year. And one of the reasons why I'm so excited for this is basically it's a free to play game. It's available on mobile. It's available on PC. So basically, everyone and their grandma should be able to have access to it, and that should mean that like there's no reason why you shouldn't give this a try. I mean, it's free. You don't pay anything. I mean, you have to free up a bunch of storage on your PlayStation on your phone, but you don't pay anything for this. So why not give it a try? It's such an awesome game. There's so much adventure. There's so much content, and just based on my experience with the developer Mihoyo, I'm a big fan of their previous game, Honkai Impact Third, and the free-to-play aspect of their game is off the chart. You can basically finish the whole main story campaign without having to pay a cent. But they do have very attractive, gacha. You get really cool characters. You get really cool equipment. And if you really invest it into the games like I am, then eventually you're gonna be reaching for a wallet. But you don't have to. It's not pay to win. It doesn't even have the PvP. I don't think Genshin Impact doesn't have PvP. I don't really think they're gonna push it out, down the road. But we'll see. That's sometime in the future. But it's really chill. It's really like at your own pace adventure. for Genshin Impact, and you should totally give it a try. Another thing that's really interesting from the business perspective, it's really funny because people are worried. I see a lot of YouTube videos and social media posts. People are worried that Mihoyo is not gonna be able to make enough money to cover their bases from Genshin Impact because if you've seen any video of this game, you know it's such high quality. It's such high, such good visuals, designs. Just look at this. This thing is you get this for free, which is insane. Like some of the triple A titles, you have to pay $60 for, and you still have to pay extra for loot boxes. I'm looking at you, Electronic Arts, and this is basically Mihoyo is turning that business model on its head. It's basically coming to us. It's like we're gonna give you this super cool game for free, and if you really enjoy it, if you like the characters, if you like the story, feel free to pay for some of those things. And like at the end of the day, if you just like if you're conscious of your spending, so make sure you don't spend too much, it's gonna be worth your money. Keep in mind, like the base price is nothing versus things like the things we've seen coming out from the AAA publishing industry in previous years, which they charge you the full price and then they charge you on top of that so that you can actually get a decent experience. It's nothing like that. It's complete opposite of that, which is why I think this game needs to be played by more people. This thing needs to succeed. This thing needs to get the exposure out there because we need more business models like that where people genuinely enjoy the game and they want to essentially name your own price for it if they want to pay for it, not because they're forced to pay for it by the publishers, which is why this is so awesome. So anyways, we'll be taking a closer look at the game in a few days, and we'll be talking about some of the details, more technical stuff, more background story. Thanks for listening to me ranting for the past few minutes, and again, thank you for joining us at Digital Hideout. Subscribe if you haven't already. We push out news and we push up analytics videos, regularly. And if you want to get our latest updates, make sure you also follow us on Twitter. We're also on a bunch of other social medias. Just at Digital Hideout, you're gonna be able to find us. Thank you again for joining us, and hope to see you again soon.